Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in again this week. This is Lucas, once again coming at you with a new video that does not follow the same procedures or outlines I've put in the other videos. A little something different. The one common thing in all my videos is going to be cheap and budget. Right here, we got a new PC case I'm just going to do a quick review on. So I'm only doing this review because I got this case for like $40. It's supposed to be tempered glass, and it's supposed to be a mid-tower case. I mean, everything like that sounds like a win to me. I've spent, a lot more on a lot better cases, and I've spent less, and they're junk. So, I mean, it's not a sponsored video or anything like that, obviously. I did pay for this, and I got it for a computer I'm currently building for my father. Just something kind of nice to stick all the components in and make it look good. But as you can see, it came here looking pretty good. Nice box. Everything's good. It took one drop kick right here, so the holiday season special. The one thing we'll be looking at once we open it is we'll take a look, see how it's packed, if that kick did anything to it, or if they packed these cases well enough to not even care. Like I said, I haven't even opened this yet, so we're all going to be experiencing this one together. There we go. Side. So far it's looking pretty good in the packaging way. Quite a bit of foam packing in here. Start to get that out. Always a fun game getting these more budget-oriented cases out, because obviously they are a lot lighter than an expensive case. They tend to stick to that box a bit more. There we go. So as you can see, it's packaged pretty well. Got some nice foam in there to keep it nice and safe during shipping. Looks like we've got it upside down currently. Here we go. Nice little view of it. From what I'm seeing, there's no damage so far to it. This is just magnetic, which, nice little feature, Magnetic film for the top to keep dust out. It feels pretty good. Not gonna complain about it. If it was a more expensive case, it can always be nicer, but for $40, I mean, honestly, something like this, something not really expected, and it's nice to have. As we can see, the tempered glass is a nice black film on it, so it's not quite clear. Clouds it up just enough to where you can actually see in there and get a nice little view, and might hide some of your cable management if you're not too great at that. Let's flip it over. Move the box out of the way. On the underside here, we can see there's another filter down there for the power supply. And now, to get that tempered glass off, all we're actually going to do is, it's got the 4 screws here. We'll just take a look in there. Make sure to drop at least one of the screws. There we go. Okay, so once those are out, all you gotta do is lift straight up. You can kind of see it on the edges, what it actually looks like, because there is a protective film on here. It might be kind of hard to see from where I got the camera placed, but looks really nice, that tempered glass. Inside we find nice color instructions. Always a nice little plus to get. Other than that, we get our bag of screws and hardware, pre-installed standoffs inside of it for the motherboard. All in all, it's looking pretty good, you know. I got this one especially because anymore I like one with a power supply basement. You know, it's going to help you with your cable management for that power supply. That way you don't really need to get a modular power supply. You can save the money on it. Let's see. Everything's looking pretty good, I will say. Right up in here, this was bent in a little bit, so it was a little crooked, but bends right out. One thing I am noticing, and I mean should be something you expect when you buy a case like this, is it is a little bit thin on the metal. It's a very, very light case once you take off the tempered glass, but as I've said before, when you're paying $40 for a case and you get tempered glass with it, really it's hard to complain about it. Get one pre-installed fan in the back, non-LED. It's a plain black fan, which works out for me, so I'm not planning to put any LEDs into this build when I make it. Okay, and if we go a little bit further into this, I'm going to take off the back panel now. There's going to be 2 screws right here. Put those all together. Back panel comes off. Once again, a little bit light on the metal, but you get what you pay for. As you can see, plenty of room back here for cable management. It's got little tie-offs so you can actually route everything and tie it down. It's got a pretty good sized hole so you can use an actual good aftermarket cooler. You got your 2 drive bays in the back, as well as 2, I believe these are actually the SSDs. Yeah, so it looks like you can actually fit a total of 3 SSDs on here. One goes right there, and then you can put 2 right here. They recommend mounting them on the back. I think if I was to do it, I would mount it on the front, because I always kind of hate hiding my solid state drives, because, you know, a mechanical hard drive, you can stick it in there in the back and not really care. You don't want to show that off anyway. But if you got a nice solid state drive, I like to mount it in the front. I've found on most cases though, you know, just mount it on the front and not worry about it. The one thing that's a little interesting here is they actually mount vertically versus a lot of cases they will mount horizontally right here. Then you can actually use these ports for a little bit better cable management if you got some right angle pieces. But honestly, I really have no complaints about this case so far. Nice power supply placement, like I said earlier. Let's take a look at the front. So the front is just plastic, but you got all your standard buttons, 1 USB 3.0, 2 USB 2.0 ports. It is a nice brushed look on the plastic, so I do like that. Feels really nice, looks really good, and it's also got one bay, so you can actually still install a CD drive if you even care about that anymore. A lot of people quit using them. I like to keep them on my computers just because I got a lot of CDs that I like to put on there. Other than that though, basically we're just gonna show you one last feature of it. So if you want to get into the front, you're just gonna grab at the bottom of it and you'll pull towards you. That's gonna disconnect this front facing for it. And then you have room so you can actually screw in and mount some fans in the front. So that is nice to have. See how it goes back together. Goes right back together, so it's a pretty good construction right there. Not a lot of airflow in this case though in the front portion of it. It does have little areas on each side for airflow to get into the case, but it's got plenty of airflow up top and on the back. I mean, as long as you're not running something with a super heavy overclock, I don't think you're going to have too much of a problem with it. Other than that though, I just wanted to give you a brief look at this case because I wasn't seeing any videos that really gave me exactly what I wanted to see on this case online. So I figured I'd just post one in case somebody was curious on this cheap computer case. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with this. If there's, anything wrong with it, I'll make sure to put it in the comments when I start building in it. But from what I'm seeing, it looks really good for $40, and can't really complain at that price about too many things. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'll try and answer as best as I can. Like I said though, thanks for tuning in, watching this video. Really appreciate it.